Hey, Edwin Wold here again from Can-Am Business Coaching, presenting to you on the coursework for my Business Growth Series. Thanks for joining me for this video. Let's discuss some international possibilities that may relate to your business. If they seem reasonable, let's look at how they may be implemented now or when you're ready in the future. Reading the workbook, How to Grow Your Business Internationally, the Workbook Companion, you'll find the following chapters. Chapter 1, Modern Business. Chapter 2, A Stable Domestic Base. Chapter 3, Reaching Out Internationally. Chapter 4, Market Research. Chapter 5, Open Doors, Barriers, and Challenges. Chapter 6, Foreign Relationships. Chapter 7, Your Strategy. Chapter 8, Your Beachhead Team. Chapter 9, The Foreign Customer. And Chapter 10, Expansion into the Future. Let's get implementing the knowledge we just learned and go over the chapter together now. Feel free to go back and review as needed. Make sure that you understand all the prior content as we go, so each book can build upon the previous material. You'll also want to check out my YouTube channel, Edwin Wold Presents, for additional insight into international business. Chapter 1, Modern Business. Let's chat about modern business and how we do business globally in modern days. Introspection. Are you stable in your business? Is your company set up and running so that you're not unnecessarily struggling financially? Do you have extra funds you can budget for seeking out new customer base? Is your domestic marketing strong? Don't falsely assume that if your domestic business is not completely stable, that heavily transferring your efforts to international business will stabilize you domestically. How do you plan to devote the time needed to finish the workbook and implement your learning in practical terms? What time and money will you devote to taking action and adding to your customer base? Do you think in terms of wanting to expand locally or across the country or in another country? What are your limitations to expansion? Taking action. List the strong points of your existing base business. List the weaknesses. What local areas would you be interested in gaining new customers in? What countries would you be interested in gaining new customers in? Answer why to questions 3 and 4. Map out your week on your calendar as to what time you will devote to increasing your customer base. Write it down as always and stick to it. The goal of Chapter 1. Let's explore international growth possibilities with an open mind. Chapter 2, A Stable Domestic Base. Introspection. Do you have strong leaders, strong teams, strategic marketing, a strong existing customer base, the correct systems and procedures in place to ensure that customers are provided with reliable quality products and or services? Will your existing business suffer if you expand? Do you have access to the necessary capital you budget for expansion? Taking action. Run a complete diagnostic on your business. Detail the results. Verify your financial standing with your accountant and work up a budget for expansion. Review the importing and exporting websites. The goal. Your business needs to be profitable so you can make the most of your domestic and international opportunities. This is accomplished by successful marketing of great products and services to customers who understand the value you provide to them. Know your path forward. It may not be a smooth road or an easy venture to gain customers in new markets. Be prepared. Take the feedback you receive to heart. Chapter 3, Reaching Out Internationally. Introspection. How strong is your current web presence? What can be done to improve it? How can you reach new customers with the minimum amount of risk? Detail in full. Put yourself in the place of your new customer. Know how your new customer thinks and what they want. Research this and have a professional research this. Taking action. How will you reach your new customer? The goal. Your company should be making full use of your internet presence. Chapter 4, Market Research. Market research is essential to your success. Knowing your new customers intimately will open up doors closed to traditional marketing. Know your audience. Introspection. Contact market research companies familiar with the country you are looking to market into. Tell them your plan and interview them. Take notes. Taking action. Successful market research companies take great pride in their ability to diagnose markets that you will be initially unfamiliar with. What success cases have the market research companies you interviewed told you of? How do they relate to your business? Hire a market research company if you wish to proceed. Summarize in detail what information they have provided you with below and review it and make sure that you're on the same page. The goal. You should be working with a market research company that you trust and knows your market well. Learn quickly. Chapter 5, Open Doors, Barriers, and Challenges. You will encounter open, partially open, and closed doors. You'll have to pass through barriers and work around obstacles. Meet challenges head on with wisdom. Rely on experts and learn to be an expert yourself. Introspection. What looks like your best open door opportunity? Detail in your workbook why or why it isn't your best opportunity. How can you most cost effectively reach your new customers? What is your current budget for engaging your new customer base? Taking action. Have your market research company detail what challenges lay before you. List them. Run your findings past your mentors. The goal. Celebrate being challenged. Many people never feel challenged. Minimize risk. Develop wisdom each day. Chapter 6, Foreign Relationships. Always think strategically. Leonardo da Vinci, my favorite painter and inventor of all time, told us that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Introspection. How do you translate your existing knowledge of your existing customer base to reach your new customers? Taking action. What small project can you start to work with a foreign company on? Pick one and detail it. Develop your relationships from the first communication onward. The goal. You'll become significant gradually. Chapter 7, Your Strategy. Introspection. Detail your strategy in full in the space provided. Taking action. Detail your strategic plan below that you have developed with your market research company. See the differences from what you came up with yourself and know why you're hiring professional insight. Run it past your mentors. What are you forgetting? Are you comfortable with the plan? Is the timing right? Be confident before you move forward. Educate yourself continuously and educate your team. Think long term. A vision without a strategy remains an illusion. Lee Bowman. The goal. You'll be actuating your growth into a new market that you will become comfortable in. Chapter 8, Your Beachhead Team. Introspection. How will you keep your existing business growing during the expansion? Detail your plan. Taking action. Who will be on your Beachhead team? Who will be your base team? Detail specifically who and why. Run the scenario past your mentors. Detail their input. The goal. Your existing business cannot be allowed to suffer as you expand. Be wise. Chapter 9, The Foreign Customer. Come to know your new customer intimately. Do not lose track of your existing customers. Introspection. Determining your foreign customer's emotional profile. What does your foreign customer want? You need to know what the emotional profile of your new customer is. What emotional needs do your new customers have? How can you solve those emotional needs? Sound familiar? It should. Determining your foreign customer's needs. Now that you've started to formulate an idea of what your customer wants, we want to next determine their needs. We look to the customer's needs only to narrow the scope and to determine whom you are reaching out to with your marketing. To assess the customer's needs and how to market, you'll need to know details about the customer to get the information required, similar to how you did for your domestic customers, as outlined in your workbook. Together, this information as a whole gives you a well-rounded idea of what circles your new customer will travel in to reach them with media. Review your findings and compare with your domestic customers. Assess their needs and decide how best to approach them to solve their wants, emotion-based. Be personal. Note the differences and adapt. Do you have a clear mindset on the physical profile of your target client? How will you effectively reach them? Which media will you use? How do your new customers perceive you? Get feedback and detail it in the space provided. How do your new customers perceive your team? Get feedback and detail that too. How do your new customers perceive your product and or service? Get feedback again. Write it down. How is your product novel? Taking action. Throw a party at your home base and at your new place of business if applicable. Gather feedback and take notes for both. Compliment each team member on their strengths they bring the team. Thank them graciously for their devotion to the business. The goal: confidently interact with your new customer base and market. Chapter 10. Expansion into the future. We've come a long way in a short time. At this stage, you should be realizing true growth in your business and, if ready, taking on expansion. Your existing business should continue to grow. Thanks for your hard work and dedication. Feels good to be approaching the end of the series, I bet. John F. Kennedy said that change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Introspection. Are you ready to hand over the reins to the expansion and go home? Are you ready to start a new expansion? How are you preparing for the future? Where do you see your direction from here? Taking action. Have a team meeting and discuss where to from here. Look at how you can give back to your new community. The goal: appreciate culture and appreciate your team. Thank you for joining me. If you have interest in looking further into international possibilities, please review the website, IndoUSAalliance.com. Next, we'll move into the final book and workbook. I'm happy to answer questions. Ed@canambusinesscoaching.com. The sky's the limit.